Hi there. Today we're going to be looking at another locally run AI on the iPhone. So I got the iPhone here, and I published a video a few weeks ago about running Gemma 4 with the Google Edge viewer on the iPhone, and I thought that was really cool that you could run local models on the iPhone. So I'm kind of new to this whole locally running AI models. And I thought maybe I would have a look at another type of framework for running AIs locally on the iPhone. And so I was doing some looking around. I found this model called Bonsai that was quantized in a different way. It's called ternary quantization. And basically, what it is instead of a binary on off state for a 1-bit system. So they've been doing testing with trying to do 1-bit quantizations and trying to get accurate models. And there's been some good stuff done with the 1-bit models, but overall they're fairly quite a bit less accurate than even like a 4-bit model, or obviously when you get into the 8-bit and the 16-bit, then they're all built around 32-bit generally, much more accurate. So there's a new method of quantization, but it's not just quantization, it's a method of training the AI in the first place, and it's called ternary quantization. Instead of having just an off state and an on state, so like a 1-bit system where it's 0 or 1, they have a third state, which is neutral. So they have 0, neutral, and 1. So there's like a third intermediary state where it's neither on or off, neither off or on. So that ternary quantization, when you train it with a special protocol so that it is more natively capable of being quantized in a ternary fashion, you can get very high resolution 1.5-bit. It's not quite 1.5. It's a little bit off of 1.5. It's like 1.67 or something like that. But it's basically closer to a 1-bit model, but with the resolution of like a 16-bit model. So I found this model called Bonsai, and then I found this framework called Locally AI. There we go. Okay, so this is Locally AI here, and I've got the ternary Bonsai loaded, 8 billion parameter model, and it only takes up like very small disk space, like 1 gig, 1 point something gigs, 1.2 gigs of memory. So it can be fully loaded, offloaded to the GPU on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And it's really rapid and it's very powerful. So I've done, and the other thing about Locally AI is that it stores your chats. So with the Google Edge Gallery, it was just a test bed. You could run chats, but it wouldn't remember them. It didn't have any, it wouldn't hold context. So on this, there's a memory of your chat. So here I have a chat that I was doing, which we have a Japanese maple tree that was potted in our backyard. It was my favorite tree. We've had it for many years, and it was getting pretty nice and big. Not tall, but like the trunk was getting thick and big, but obviously a very short tree. It was coming along really nicely, and then last winter it got drowned. The bottom of the pot got plugged up, and it ended up flooding the pot, and then it sat in the water for a few weeks and it drowned it and got root rot. We've been trying to bring it back to life. So far I haven't seen anything. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't have any branches coming out of it yet. So I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. But anyways, I was using bonsai in order to, strangely enough, it's a bonsai tree, but I was looking up how we could bring it back to life. So it's saying, suggesting root rot or waterlogged soil may have occurred. The tree may be in stump form, meaning the trunk is still there, but the roots are not healthy. Roots may be damaged or drying, which can prevent new growth. So there was a whole bunch of stuff. Then it told me like a lot of the stuff we'd already done. It does give hope that there may be a chance that it could come back. So anyways, it was an example of using the local AI on my phone, not connecting to a cloud service, not using a frontier model, but just using something directly on my phone that's a little bit more powerful. The ternary Bonsai is an 8 billion parameter model, and it performs very closely to the 8 billion parameter model that was 16-bit quantized. So it doesn't lose as much resolution as you typically would if you were going to a 1-bit model, which is very lossy and has a tendency to get incorrect results. There's very little drop off with the Bonsai ternary quantized model, and it is a very effective model to have locally on your phone. Another thing that I've learned in the last few weeks, and I've been starting to employ in some of the apps that I've been developing. Lately, I've been developing a lot of the apps that I've been working on directly to iPhone. That's just the platform I prefer to use them on. Although sometimes there's other stuff that I'm doing that's got server side hosting and is using different stacks and that type of thing. But the stuff I've been doing just as personal apps, I've been predominantly building to iPhone, have discovered that the built-in AI for Apple, it doesn't have a huge context and it's not the most powerful model, but it's very effective for many things, and it's built right into iPhone. You can call the Apple Neural LLM very easily within your apps, and I've been building apps using it. And while the fidelity is not great, you got to be selective in what you use it for. But it's for some basic like AI functionality. It can do a lot of stuff. It can do a lot of stuff, and if you're building out your own apps, have a look at using the Apple LLM that's built right into the phones. Now, typically, you're going to need a newer, more powerful phone. Anything like in the Pro 15, 16, 17, like the most recent models of iPhone Pros are all going to run it pretty good. I have the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and it runs really good on that. But also check out this ternary Bonsai, because this is a really promising little technology in training and quantizing in a ternary method with rather than a 1-bit method using I think it's called a 1.67 bit, something like that. I may be off on the number, but it's not exactly a 1.5. It's called 1.67, I believe. It's a little bit heftier than a 1-bit, but way more resolution, way more fidelity in the model. And you're able to run essentially an 8 billion parameter model on a phone, which is like something that a year ago I was running 8 billion parameter models on the Mac Mini M4. And I was pretty impressed with what it was able to do. And I could run a little bit bigger models than that as well, like 12 billion parameter models and that type of thing with the M4 Mac Mini base, which is 16 gigs of unified memory. But with these new quantization methods, the iPhone is becoming a legitimate platform for hosting local large language models. Very powerful. And if you have any insight into this type of thing, have you been using locally hosted models on your computer? If you're running a Mac, are you running local models on your Mac? Or if you're running a Mini, are you running local models on your Mini? Are you running local models on your phone? Are you running local models on your Windows machine with a graphics card? I also have a Windows desktop with a 12 gigabyte graphics card. So that thing runs smaller models very fast. It's extremely fast. So these smaller models, they can run on any of these platforms, right? And the more fidelity they have, the better they they can be. So let me know down below what you're doing with AI locally. And if you like these kind of videos, be sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment below. I love the comments. I'll respond to every comment. That's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. I will see you again on the next one. Bye for now.